Oh, hey man, how's it going today? You just got home, flew in from somewhere?
What was that?
Just fly in and just get
Yeah,
home?
we just came in from Vegas, so I just got home about a half an hour ago.
Yeah. Well,
I got
you
home
can only talk for 15, 20 if that helps.
Yeah. So that's
So,
all good.
yeah, let me make sure we got recording here. We're good on that. So yes, so for those that don't know, Peter is this amazing guy with this amazing business of what he's doing right now. We've heard a few other speakers talk about using chat bots and some of the artificial intelligence stuff. Well, this is the man, the myth, the legend who is changing the world of AI when it comes to social media. And I'm excited to be have him not only as a friend, but also that I'm a client of his, and I'm so excited about what he's doing. I was like, we got to get him on here to talk about the next wave of where everything's going. So, Peter, why don't you take a few minutes, share who you are and your superpowers, and we'll go from there. How's that sound, man?
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Oh man, you set me up. I hope I don't offend anybody in the social media and the National Social Media Day here, but we'll take it step at a time. Social media is important.
You know, if you offend somebody, who cares?
Okay. Just so everybody knows, my background's always been in tech. Product development guy, ran divisions for Hewlett Packard, Verifone, Nike. You guys probably know those different companies. We actually did my Skunkworks team in Nike. We did the world's first virtual reality glasses, which I'm here to tell you, virtual reality is a false pretender. It's not going to last, but that's just my humble opinion. I love doing stuff that disrupts and shakes up the world. We've got a new category of platform that actually we're building now for Scott. It's called the Openless app. And it's going to change the way everyone's going to see the world. And part of the reason is because there's a lot of things that have been going on, this sandbox thinking and how we use social media, email marketing, websites. And you know, the thing is, guys, everybody is living on these things now in a mobile-first society, and that stuff is somewhat effective, but it doesn't work as well as it used to.
Mm-hmm.
Because the conditioning of the way people are experiencing things through search, discover, conversation, and buy has forever changed the world. And so the Openless app platform matches what consumers are doing and how they're discovering different businesses and products and services, but on this. And that's, we can talk all about that, Scott and the team there, about kind of where things are going. You know, just for your audience, because I just got back from a keynote in Dallas, was talking to them in the audience. And first of all, I asked them, I said, well, first of all, if you have a smartphone, raise your phone in the air. Everyone in the audience, I said, if you don't have one, don't admit it, because probably people be ashamed to do that, right? We're on these things, we live on them. I have all kinds of statistics, and I have a modern mobile blueprint that people can get later on in this talk, but you know, people are checking these things 150 times a day. It's about every 6 minutes. We live on them. Let me ask you a question. For you guys in the audience and you guys on the panel there, when you got your last text message or push notification, did you check it fairly soon?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, we do. How about this? When you get up in the morning, is one of the first things you do look at your phone?
Yeah.
I'll do it, man. You know, let me ask you this for statistics. When you are watching TV, do you have your phone by your side or in your hand? Most people.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 people do. All I'm here is to let people, here, let me fix my camera because it's a little bit bad there. There we go. I'm just here to help people realize that, guys, if you're doing these things, so are your consumers, clients, and customers. They're doing the same exact things that you guys are doing as well. So we have entered a new age here in this mobile-first environment that has forever changed the world. And it's not even, we can even talk today about, it's going to be going from mobile-first to mobile-only. And these things will no longer be called smartphones. They'll be called something different. But we're working on some stuff in our lab that's going to be changing that. So the Openless app environment, guys, is a place where people come. The whole idea behind it is It is, first of all, a web app that will replace native phone apps because they're dying. They will eventually replace websites because those will eventually be going away as we know them. And there's some statistics I can share with you if you want to hear those about how websites aren't working as well as they used to anymore. And it has a chat interface, like Scott, you mentioned, with artificial intelligence. It's one hub. And what I mean by that, this is huge because the thing about it is, for years and years in this thing I call sandbox thinking, we have sent people to websites, sent them to their email inbox, sent them to social media, and that's backwards of the way it should be. And people don't have the patience for that anymore. Now, I'm not saying you don't do social media, but when you do it, make sure you get them in the hub right away, and then you bring everything to them inside this hub. In other words, what we're developing for Scott and his business is people come in the hub, they live in the hub, they stay in the hub. We do all of his webinars. We do all of his speaking events. We can even give driving directions inside of our hub platform. They don't have to go to Waze. They don't have to go to Google Maps. Everything stays in the hub. Push notifications. If you want to do text message marketing, which I know, Scott, you already do. But the thing is that you have to deliver the experience to them, not them go out to get the experience. And it has to be 24/7. One thing, guys, for you guys on the panel, let me ask you a couple other questions. You ever gone to a website, and for all you guys that are listening, you ever gone to a website and you're searching around and there's no way to interact with them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No chat. Now, for the ones that do have chat, let me ask you this. You ever gone to a website and you clicked on chat after hours and they said, no one is here, please leave us an email and we'll get back to you in 24 hours. Remember how that happened?
Yeah.
How'd that make you feel?
Unimportant.
Unimportant. I mean, here's the thing. Let's just keep this simple. We all know, right? We go to grocery stores. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Could you imagine if you went to your local Albertsons or Ralph's or whatever grocery store you have at 12 midnight and there was a note on the door that said, sorry, we're closed, go away. I mean, you see, all I'm saying is these are common sense things, yet we don't think about that and how we're doing our marketing. People want instant. They want 24/7. They want answers. The artificial intelligence helps with all of that. They want the one hub experience. They do not have the attention span or the patience to go anywhere else. And if you guys don't believe me, you can go look at stats. Email marketing right now, 20% open rates, 1% to 2% click-through rates. If you're good, you might get 5% click-through rates. But guess what? In our platform, we're getting 80 to 100% open rates and 35 to 80% click-through rates. Because we're bringing the experience to them, we're keeping it easy and simple. And that's really where customers are these days. So that's just kind of my intro. If you guys have any questions or comments or where you want to go, we can go in a lot of different directions here.
So I love when we're all stats people. We all love numbers, don't we?
Yep.
It's the biggest thing about stuff like that. And I love the shaking the stuff up. That's the biggest thing is we're always looking 3 months, 6 months, a year out. Where's everybody going? And that's what I love about Peter. He's not even in the same sandbox. You're far ahead or figure not in the sandbox where we might think we're in the sandbox. He's in the earth. He's the globe, not the sandbox. Okay. And so you mentioned earlier when we talked yesterday or the day before about your keynote that you had a lot of great stuff on there too. You want to pull that up and go through that, Peter?
Yeah, we can. We can talk about. Let's. You want me to just share my screen? Is that?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Okay, sure. This is a keynote. I've given this one also in Seattle and Boston coming up, and I'll go through some of the different points. Can you guys see this? Okay.
Yeah, if you just want to max it, I put it in SlideShare, or I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's let me do this. Hold on. I'll do a F5. How's that sound? There we go.
Yep.
Is that good? Okay. So I'm going to go over not all the slides because I know we only have a few minutes here, but I want to pick up some key points. First of all, guys, to let you know, we're going to be in Forbes magazine next month about all of this openless app. One of the writers flew out to see me. We are in Inc. magazine if you guys want to look up an article or maybe you guys can attach it to the notes we were in there last November for our interface design and what we're doing. But I will tell you that Forbes magazine said not too long ago that websites as we know them are dead. And why they said that is because of this stuff in the middle, that users have shifted in how they interact with businesses using mobile search and conversation to discover before they buy. I don't know if you guys, since you guys love stats, you know, HubSpot, you guys know them, about 6 months ago, they came out with a study, so over 55% of people spend less than 15 seconds on the website. You know, the problem is, they're in this sandbox thinking you talked about, Scott, there's this thing of friction, noise, and overwhelm. When you go to a website now, or most people do, they don't know where to go. Even if you have a great home page, there's all these menus and they bounce. I mean, you guys know your Google Analytics. Look at them. We're all in the same boat on this. You got to get to them within a few seconds. Google, which is the largest data collector on this earth, came out with an extensive study. And did you realize, guys, that if your website takes more than 3 seconds to load, over 53% of the people are gone. They leave.
Yep.
So, guys, this is the thing is, websites are going to change. They're not going to like go away, but they're going to move into more of this openless app. This is why we created this. Google came out and said conversation is the new currency. As you all probably know, you've heard chatbot this, chatbot that. You know, I'm here to tell you guys, I did a chatbot to our workshop in Dallas, but I will tell you, chatbots, in my opinion, are like a one-legged dog running. They don't give you everything that you need. You do have to have a chat experience, but you have to have much more than that in a business. And I'll help you guys understand what that is. But everything is now shifting to messaging is the new medium, conversation is the new currency, and the mobile platform, your mobile phone is the new platform. That's really where we're at. So let's go through this. I already talked about this. I want to tell you guys a little bit. You know, my aha story was about 1.5 years ago. That kind of got me this idea about like, man, we got to do something different. And this sandbox that we're in just isn't working like it was used to. I was out running. You know, I run every other day. I was out in the running trails. And I was listening to this really good podcast. I'm sure you guys listen to the podcasts all the time, right?
Yep.
I was listening to this about this guy. His name was Christopher Lockett. And he has this book here, which I highly recommend, guys. If you are into innovation, you should read this book, Play Bigger, if you can see it on the screen.
Play Bigger. It's awesome book. Yeah.
It's an awesome book. I think I recommended it to Scott. But Christopher Lockett actually is working with us. He helped us coin active attention design. He had a rooster on his lap and was kind of petting the rooster while we were talking about all this stuff. But this is the new field guide for innovation and product development. Well, I was listening to the podcast and I heard Christopher was on there and he was talking about his book, and I thought, man, you know, being a product development guy, this is like super cool. This is the next field guide for all of us innovators. So what I did is I had my mobile phone. I stopped. I went to Amazon Prime because I like to get physical copies of books. You know, I do Audible and all that, but I wanted to get the book because I want to write notes and things like that. I ordered it while I was standing there. I had it delivered the next day and I started running. And I was like, wow, you know what? I could not have done that 10 years ago. You know, we're in a mobile first and we kind of take it for granted a little bit, but it's super powerful. One of my business partners the other day, about a month ago, he was laying in bed with his wife. It was late at night. And all of a sudden she was on her phone and there was a text message that popped up and he heard the audible of it. He goes, hey honey, who's texting you this late at night? She said, our furnace. It just sent me a text message to remind me to change my phone. This is the world we live in. And guys, I'm here to tell you, I don't know if you guys have ever heard the boiling frog story. It's a little bit of a story, but there's a lot of truth to it. Kind of the way the story goes, guys, is, you know, if you think about it, when you put a frog in water and you start warming up the temperature, it slowly acclimates to the hotter and hotter temperature and will not jump out until the water's boiling and the frog is dead. Now, I'm here to tell you guys, as businesses now, you're listening to this, you are that frog, and the technology around your business is the water that's getting hotter and hotter. And if you don't adapt and change, you're going to be dead. And it's coming. This is whether you like it or not, things are changing. So just to prove my point, You guys ever heard of the company Blockbuster or Hollywood Video?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Yeah, remember when Netflix came in? Nowhere to be seen. JCPenney and Sears are closing down stores by the hundreds around the country because they did not adapt and they got boiled alive by Amazon. Even Walmart is now trying to shift quickly because of Amazon. You guys have a Kmart store in your neighborhood anymore? I mean, these are things. Look at phone companies, magazines, newspapers, travel agencies, even your cable companies. You guys all know, sitting on the panel there, I bet you all either have Netflix, Hulu, Vudu, Amazon Prime, Sling TV, Roku. Most of the cable channels are going to be dead if they don't adapt. I mean, this is just the nature of where things are going. So the point I'm making is, listen to my message here, guys, because, and it's not just the panel, but all you guys listening out there, these changes are already happening. So let's move to what this Openlist app is. It's mobile first. It's a one hub. So you don't take them out to websites. Websites come in the hub. We can pull Scott's website in his hub. It's YouTube in the hub. It's your email inbox. In fact, we don't really do email anymore. We do broadcast messaging, push notifications, and I really, Scott's already doing with Mobit, he's doing text messaging, but that's really a good way to go too, because it has a very high open rate. But the key thing is it matches the conditioning of how consumers are now buying. And I'm going to show you some different things here, guys. Your consumers are buying maybe in a different way than your sandbox thinking and the way you're marketing to them. So that's got to change. So really the technology offers choice, and that produces these habits. I come from a time, guys, before, and I'm aging myself a little bit, but I come from a time before there was PCs. I mean, we had these little mail things with cards that came in when I was an early on as an engineer. I was before email, before faxes. I used to be, man, oh man, how could we live without email? And now we want to, have email, like, get away from us. And the thing about it is that really email now is a quantity over quality game. You have to have a big email list to be able to be successful. And even then, that's going to be hard because people are starting to ignore email more and more and more because it just doesn't make sense. So, like I said, everybody's on their phones. I mean, we're shopping, we're researching, we're doing dining reservations, we're messaging, we're watching. I mean, Netflix, Hulu, all on our phones. And we're going to continue to do more and more of that. This mobile really is the new normal. Look at the stats here. Do you know that 40 million internet users in the United States, they're just mobile only. They don't have a laptop or a desktop. 88% of local search is you'll get a phone call or book an appointment within 24 hours. Now, if you're a local company, I have a wellness center. It's a big bricks and mortar. It's a local company in my business holdings. And it's the same way with us as it is with all of you guys in service businesses. I talked about the 9 out of 10 people watching TV at night. I mean, you got to ask yourself, when is your shirt going to start talking to you and telling you, you know what, maybe you shouldn't be wearing me today. I'm a little bit dirty.
It's like you're back to the future.
Yeah.
Mode.
I'm here to tell you, we can do that right now in our Openlist app.
What?
So the future is not out there. The future is here now. Gen Z, those kids that were born from, I call them kids, they're born from 1997 to 2009. Do you know that they're already contributing $44 billion to the American economy? I mean, this is something, talking about these Gen Z kids, by 2020, 25% of the population is going to be Gen Z. That's 88 million. When you add the millennials, which most of you are on the panel here, there's 76 million of you. They're born from 1981 to 1996. Do you realize, guys, that almost half the population did not know a time really before mobile phones, or they adopted them like a lot of the millennials very quickly because they didn't know a time before PCs. So this is where we are definitely in a mobile first environment. We have to adapt. We have to make these changes in order to really get access to where your customers and clients are. So like I said, customers now, all of your customers, everything's happening on their phone. Just other stats, there's 3 billion of these mobile phones in the world now. TechCrunch said by 2020, there's going to be 6 billion. That's about 70% of the Earth's population is going to have. And just so you know, I don't know, do you guys, because I can't see you on the panel, do you guys have an iPhone or an Android phone?
iPhone.
iPhones.
iPhone? What was the other fellow on the right, on the far left?
iPhone.
Well, guys, just so you know, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing, but do you realize the global market share is 80% Android?
Yeah.
It's not iPhone. iPhone has an entrenchment in the United States, but Android is far surpassing iPhone. Now, I'm not saying iPhone's bad. iPhone's great. We develop for both platforms, and you have to have both because it's Android, iPhone, and it will continue to be that way for quite a long time going forward. So the thing about it is, what I want to share with you is, and this this I'll just kind of talk you through. Maybe you can hear this, but I want to play this just so you guys can hear this. I'm going to stop it, and we're going to talk about this for a second. So let me play this and see if you can hear it. Can you guys hear that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi. I'd like to reserve a table for Friday the 3rd.
Hold on one.
Now, I want to stop that for a second. You heard a male voice on there. This guy is Daniel, although he's not human. This is the Google Duplex that was done a couple months ago. Daniel is actually an artificial intelligent machine that's making a dinner reservation. He's the voice avatar. So let me play the rest of this, guys, while you're listening here so you can hear how human he is. Listen for his mm-hms. Yeah, he sounds very human in his conversation.
Moment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hold on one second. So Friday, November 3rd. How many people?
For 2 people.
2 people?
Yeah.
What time?
At 5 p.m.
Okay.
That's cool.
And your name?
The first name is Daniel. That's Daniel.
So we'll stop it right there, but guys, you can see how far we've come. Now, where the future is coming in the near future, in the next few months to a couple of years, is it won't just be a voice avatar. I talked to Scott about this. You're going to have an avatar that's going to know everything about you. Your clothes you wear, the food you eat, where you shop, where you like to go, where you like to travel. And then you may say, well, boy, that's a lot of private information about me. Well, guess what? That's going to be up on the blockchain to protect your privacy. There is going to be a time, guys, my prediction is you're going to be able to search on Google without being tracked through blockchain. And that's
Wow.
So the world is changing, and I think Google's shaking in their boots right now because they're going to try to figure out, well, how are we going to, because they're going to get you searched, if you think about it, right? So, whoops. So let me go to the next slide here. I just want to give you guys, and then we'll go right into this OpenList app and we'll talk about this, but I want to give you guys a little peek into the future of abilities that I've talked to Scott and others about our clients with artificial intelligence and mobile devices. Well, back in, 1999, my son Kaz was in 5th grade. It was right around the millennial where there was, Y2K. And I would go into his 5th grade class and we talk about the future. Now remember, this was before smartphones. I talked to them about, you're going to have a handheld device in your hand. This you're going to be able to talk on, but it's going to give you a lot of computing experiences. That was a smartphone. I also talked about having a global interconnected computer network. That was the internet. The third thing I talked about, which is still maturing, but it's coming here fairly soon, is what I call immersion experiences. And I told the kids, I said, imagine being able to sit in your classroom and through holographic technology, the African savannah pops up and a lion can walk right in front of your desk. Now, here's the thing. Where this is going, guys, with this immersion experience is, you're going to be able to sit this thing down on your coffee table. The holographic experience will immerse the room. You will be able to be in movies, be in the games. TVs will be gone. Gaming systems will be gone. Education will forever change. If you don't believe me, look up a company called Red One Hydrogen. They produced the first prototype of these holographic phones, kind of like what you saw with Tupac or Michael Jackson on YouTube, and they're selling them on Verizon. They're already backlogged. So this is where things are going. The immersion experience, in my opinion, will take out virtual reality, kind of like VHS cassettes or false pretenders to streaming. And the Palm Pilot was a false pretender to the smartphone. I really don't think people are going to be sticking goggles on their face. I've done product development for 35 years. I've seen a lot of false pretenders and seen true platforms. Immersion experience is going to own the digital world. It's going to own your home. It's going to own the roadway and your cars as we move towards autonomous vehicles. So well, let's now go into the common denominator here. Really is this phase where we're in now, which is artificial intelligence and mobile devices. And that's something that we're putting in Scott's platform, is the ability for people to ask questions for Scott's week closed notes. And guess what? We use fully talking animated characters. So we're going to have an animated character of Scott. And when people ask questions, Scott's going to pop in and he's going to talk to them and answer their questions. I mean, how cool is that? We have Hollywood animators, professional scriptwriters. The whole idea behind this is what active attention design is you've got to get the user experience right along with all this technology. Because if you think about it, people like, for me, I'm kind of like the Wizard of Oz behind the curtain in my company. They don't care about what we do. What they care about is the experience that they're having and how you're getting and holding their attention and how you're engaging with them to take them through a sales funnel or a webinar or a video training course. Okay, so let's talk about some of the sales. How are we doing on time, guys? Are we okay? We all right? Oh, okay. I can't. You're on mute, I think.
Sorry about that, Peter. You got about 5 minutes. You're good.
Okay, so let's jump into these. What this whole progressive web app is, or this whole OpenList app. So it has an app in it. It has conditioning and OneHub chat. Now, guys, this is not something that's super out there. There's already billion-dollar companies like Fandango, Forbes Magazine, Trivago, Starbucks. They're using what's called a progressive web app. The problem is they forgot about the conversation, the artificial intelligence, and the database aspect on the end. But you can see they're selling more stuff, creating more conversations. Look at the stats with Forbes. Their web app, and ours do too, they load in less than a second. They saw a 43% increase in sessions and 100% increase in engagement. So this is a speed test that we did, and so I could show this to people in the keynote. This really is the big part of OpenList, or one of the key components is, guys, like I said, native phone apps are going away. You no longer need to have your OpenList app be downloaded through the iTunes or Google Store. Too much friction. That's 6 steps. Google even came out and said that through their data studies, every step a user has to take, you lose 20% of the people, and that's if they're interested. You have to have low friction. It's got to be instant. It's got to be right there in front of them, almost within less than a step or so. So no app store. You have the native phone app experience. You're not downloading this through like a native phone app, but you can use the camera, geolocation. You can use beacon or proximity. So if you're a local business, when you come into your store or come into the parking lot, our OpenList app can pop up and can start interacting with them. They're secure. They're behind HTTPS. And the thing I told Scott is, you know, for some of his users and all of you guys for OpenList apps, imagine having an app that's usable when they don't have Wi-Fi or cell service. We have offline functionality. They can fill out forms. They can watch videos. And when they get back to a connection, all of that auto syncs. It's all auto update. They're searchable on Google. And the best of all, they have push notification. So you can send broadcast messages just like you would in email marketing. And it sends a broadcast message right on the mobile phone. So it alerts them just like you guys see Facebook messages and things like that. Very powerful stuff. It matches conditioning behaviors, right? Think about how we search, right? Kind of like when Kleenex is the tissue. You know, when you want something, you say, I want a Kleenex. You don't say a tissue. When you want to search, you Google it, right? So it matches all of the Google search. It also matches conditioning behaviors about how people are interacting. Let me ask you this. Guys, when you guys get phone calls from numbers you don't know, what do? You ignore them, right? We all do. And I'm going to tell you, in fact, right now, most millennials don't do voice messages because they don't want to anymore. So, you know, the whole world is changing. Texting and messaging is the new platform. Do you realize, guys, 90% of leads, this is another stat, 90% would rather get a text or message from your business than someone on the phone. If you don't believe me, think about this. You guys ever gone to a car dealership and there was 5 guys out there standing waiting to pounce on you? How'd that make you feel? There's a whole new app called the Fair Experience where you can go search a car, order a car, do the leasing, get the leasing papers done, get the financing, and have the car delivered to your doorstep. And 2 months later, if you don't like it, you can return it and have another car delivered to your doorstep. You think what's going to happen to dealerships is what happened to Blockbuster and Hollywood Video? I think it is. This is where conditioning and technology with this mobile first is changing everything. The One Hub experience that I was talking about, this is the best example. You guys ever gone to a website and clicked? Now, I know there's embedded, so because I've had people go, well, you can embed these, but not every website does. You click on a link and you go out to YouTube, and 10 or 15 minutes later, you're on a 5th or 6th video, and you forgot why you're even there, right? We do this all the time in business, yet it's almost like committing customer suicide, right? You want to bring people into this single hub. That's the power of it. So that just gives you guys an overview of kind of what's going on here. I just wanted to share that a little bit with you so you can see the power of what's happening. I think your guys are on mute a little bit.
It's totally a digital revolution again.
Yes, it is. We are on the next gen. You got it, Scott. It's gonna, and again, this is not, you know, the Forbes guy, when he came out and I was whiteboarding some of the stuff for him, at about 10 minutes into the conversation, he was standing up, he slumped against the wall, and he said, you know what? There isn't any business in America that doesn't need this open-list app. I said, well, thank you, precisely. I mean, that's where things are going because it matches the way people are buying.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, great stuff, Peter. How can people get a hold of you so that those that are listening and watching stuff like that, what's the best way to reach out to you?
You know, if you guys want to reach out, you can get the free modern marketing blueprint. Just go to openlistapp.com. It's openlistapp.com. And it's also an open list app. You can play around with it. I think you got it the other day.
It's around in the last couple of days since we talked on Thursday.
Yeah, so go play with it. It's got a lot of feature sets in there, and then you can download the blueprint guide too. That'll give you some ideas.
Awesome. Well, hey, Peter, get you some sleep because I know coming back from Vegas, you probably didn't sleep much there, did you?
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, now, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule, man. Have a safe trip next week because you're headed up to Seattle, aren't you?
Yep, Seattle is next stop. We're going to go up there. Yep.
Well, have a great week. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you later. All right, bud?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Peter.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right, so that is awesome.
Oh, that was so
Isn't that cool? I told you. I told you got some cool stuff coming.
You know, with that though, you know, you look at what they're doing, you're like, this is gonna piss off so many companies. Like, I just got my website all set up, or I just got all this stuff set up, and now like things are changing.
Yeah, I know. We were like a 6-month build out on this, but I'm like 6 months. Watch out, world. But hey, enough. Hang on a second here. Let me hit the button.